Hi there, Obatobi here. And for Halloween, I'm going to count down my personal 5 Goosebumps episodes from the Goosebumps TV show. Now, it's been a while since I watched a few episodes, but I have watched a majority of them again, not too recently, like a year. In the past year, I've watched like probably about 30 of the 40. Well, technically it would be like 50 of the 74 episodes since a lot of them are two-parters. But anyways, I'm going to count down my personal picks, and the criteria for that is how good the characters are. This includes the monster and the main protagonist. Also, how good the plot and story of the episode are, how scary the monsters are, and how memorable they are. And I'm gonna say this: two-parters mean one episode, just to make it simple, since it would be kind of harder to rank if I had to do just parts. Anyways, before I begin, if you want to leave your personal 5 picks or 10 if you want to, or leave like a suggestion for like a top 10 ranking or movie review or something that you want me to do, I'd be more than happy to do that. Anyways, let's carry on. At number 5, we have The Scarecrow's Walk at Midnight. In this episode, Drew, I mean, not Drew, Judy and Mark are visiting their grandparents, and the scarecrows apparently just come alive. They think it's the cousin playing a prank on them because the cousin does that sort of things, but they realize that the scarecrows are actually alive. Um, the scarecrows may not be the most intimidating, but like at the same time, how they slowly walk and bang on the window in one scene make them more eerie. And mind you, they only had this show was made on kind of a budget. It can't be as flashy as like Flash. This was made in the 90s too, so for that time they did look pretty menacing. At number 4, Attack of the Jack-o'-lanterns. In this episode, Drew and Walker invite their rivals Lee and Tabby to join them for trick-or-treating in hopes that Drew, who's a girl in this episode, Drew is a girl's name too, who has 2 friends visiting, and they said they would scare Tabby and Lee for Walker and Drew, and so they take it up on that, but the jack-o'-lanterns come up and they, to them, are realistic. And if you like twists, this has like 3 of them. So it's definitely an episode that is very enjoyable, and there are twists in it that you may like. I can't believe that happened. Yeah, so number 3 is The Haunted Mask 2. Many would prefer the original one, the first one, but I prefer the second one. The reason because is it focuses on one of the bullies from the first one, Steven, wanting revenge on Carly Beth, and takes up a mask to try to do it. And unlike the original, it doesn't bang over your head that love is the answer to setting you free. It does. Also, it technically follows the rules better because the rules of the mask is if it's the first time you put it on, then the second time you put it on, but by the third time you put it on, it won't come off. And if I'm not mistaken, maybe it is this episode where he puts it on 3 separate times instead. I haven't watched this episode because it is kind of a difficult episode to get a hold on unless if you get the collection, the complete series. And I do feel like this is underrated despite having like a better message, which is like don't take revenge because it may hurt you in the process, which it did. And so I like this episode a little more than the original, which is why I have it on the list, and probably if I made this a top 10, the Haunted Mask 1 would probably be 6, maybe 7. Anyways, number 2, Night of the Living Dummy 3. Now, I'm pretty sure no one will argue with this, but this is definitely one of my favorites. I was really torn between this one and what I put for number 1, but I decided that number 1 deserved to be number 1. Anyways, in this episode, Zane visits his cousins, who whose father is a ventriloquist who has a bunch of dummies. One of them happens to be Slappy. Now, he is getting pranked and is blaming uh, his cousin Daniel and Trina. But are they the ones doing it? You're gonna have to watch the episode to find out. Anyways, my number 1 pick is Werewolf of Fever Swamp. When it comes to monsters, while it may not look the most terrifying, the way they portray it in the episodes is. It's kind of takes a more Jaws effect, where they don't show you the entire monster, where they only show you bits and pieces until like the final 10 minutes to like build up tension. And also, oh, on a fun fact notice, for Britain, this episode would have actually ranked TV 12, which meant they recommend you be 12 years or older. The series typically was a TV 7, Y7, as you know, and so for it to get like a higher rating means like it's pretty good. It gave me goosebumps even when I was like teenage, younger, like probably 13 and 12, I still kind of was frightened by this episode. And this is probably the second hardest movie video to get because it seems to not be anywhere. And if you're wondering what I would say the number 1 hardest Goosebumps DVD to get is Werewolf Skin, because I didn't even know that existed as a DVD. But this is definitely a close second. But because of how it portrays the werewolf and is sneaky about it, it really gets my respect. Also, the ending is actually pretty close to the book, although it doesn't straight out say it. It's pretty much what the book ending is, and so I definitely recommend watching this. And again, if you have suggestions for a top 5, top 10 ranking, or a movie review, or anything, just leave a comment below, and I'll may do it, may not, depends on what it is. Thank you.